an email that was hacked by WikiLeaks, and I know that the talking point from the Clinton campaign is this is the Russians trying to infiltrate. But beyond that, there is the substance of this email. We learned that the King of Morocco wanted to contribute $12 million to the Clinton Foundation last year, but he only wanted to do it if he could get a face-to-face meeting with Hillary Clinton. Clinton advisor Huma Abedin wrote that the contribution was a non-starter if the king did not get a meeting with Hillary Clinton. Now, ultimately, Hillary Clinton did not make the trip to Morocco because the campaign had already started. But this does raise the kind of concerns that there is a pay-to-play. He wanted to meet with Hillary Clinton, $12 million for the foundation. I mean, doesn't this feed into one of the concerns that voters have about Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation?
Well, I'm glad you asked the question for that reason. It was known for a long time that the Clinton Foundation's conference was held in Morocco. It has been known for a very long time that Secretary Clinton chose not to attend that conference. So there isn't anything new here.
Well, Bill and Chelsea did.
They did, but Secretary Clinton chose not to. And as you pointed out, this was an illegally stolen email put out there by the Russians because they want the campaign to be about this. They want these sort of questions to be raised rather than talking about the real issues.
Well, this is a real issue. I mean, pay to play. If people don't like the idea of money going to the Clinton Foundation in exchange for access to the then former Secretary of State, I mean, you can understand why that would trouble people.
Absolutely, and it's not true. Again, that never took place. Secretary Clinton always met the highest ethical standards when she was Secretary of State, when she was United States Senator. There were systems put in place to prevent exactly what you're talking about. And again,
you didn't want this huge contribution from the King of Morocco just as Clinton was announcing for president.
Well, I didn't want anything on her schedule that was going to distract from the campaign. And again, the Clinton Global Initiative had this meeting scheduled in Morocco.
But it was the big money from a foreign person to the foundation at the time she's running for president.
This was, as you can see in those emails, this was a scheduling matter, and we didn't want her going overseas. I didn't want her going overseas before the campaign was kicking off. But again, these are stolen documents stolen by the Russians. It's now confirmed from John Podesta. They are being put out for exactly this purpose.
Well,
the Russians and Donald Trump want this campaign to be about something else right now.
Let me just speak to that, though, because, the Trump tax returns were stolen as well when they were mailed to the New York Times. You guys didn't object to that. In fact, you jumped all over it.
Well, we don't know where those tax returns come from.
Well, they weren't. They were clearly stolen.
We don't know, and you'd have to work with the New York Times on that.
Do you think that Trump had given them?
I don't know. I don't know how they got to the New York Times.
I guess what I'm saying is if we're looking at the fruits of that theft, and I will call it a theft, it's fair to look at the fruits of your theft.
I think what's particularly disturbing in this situation is that the intelligence community has now confirmed that John Podesta's emails and the DNC emails were stolen by the Russians.
I know about the Russian connection. I'm talking about the $12 million from the King of Morocco and the fact that this continues to sort of show the line between private and public and Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation.
I think we got to look at what decisions were made. There was a meeting in Morocco. Secretary Clinton decided not to go focus on her campaign here. And again, we're having
this discussion because the Russians Chelsea Clinton went, correct?
My understanding is that they did go, but she did not. And again, this is the discussion the Russians want us to be having. They stole this information. They're selectively leaking. I can't even verify any of the information that you have there. We simply don't have enough time as a campaign
I promise you, if these were not true, you'd tell us.
Information they're selectively leaking. I can't even verify any of the information that you have there. We simply don't have enough time as a campaign.
I promise you.
Absolutely, and it's not true. Information they're selectively leaking. I can't even verify any of the information that you have there. We simply don't have enough time as a campaign.
I promise you.
Absolutely, and it's not true.